Internet
Yeah,
must
good
have
second.
dropped off. 1 second. I'll pause this, and just in case my stream isn't working, I'm not sure if the stream's working anymore, but
Recording in progress.
I'll record it so we can at least do part 2. If you're happy to keep chatting, because I'm having a great time and I don't have a time limit, so...
100%.
All right.
I'm good to keep going. Yeah, so I think where we're at, I don't know, I believe you're talking, and we're talking about where, like, how important it is to, like, reach out again and again.
Yeah.
And again.
I was gonna say on that, like, I love what you said when you were talking about how you're younger and you just thought friends were gonna come to you. And I think lots of people sometimes when you're younger have that, and they don't realize, just like anything in life, if you want something, go fucking get it. Like, things just don't fall into your lap. They do for some people if they're lucky, and sometimes in school especially you see it because kids want to hang around with some people, and then the first second someone gets the lucky card and then they're the popular kid or whatever, and they think that's how life works. But it's so true. And when you travel, you learn that quite quickly as well, because you realize that when you leave your society that you're so used to and you've got all your friends from school, like you're going to a new environment, if you want friends, open your mouth, go out there and get them. And like, I can understand as a teenager, and it's so hard because you don't realize these lessons, you don't understand those things. But just like anything in life, if you want it, just go fucking get it. It's not going to come to you. Like, there's nothing that's going to do anything to change anything but you. And it just really clicked when you said that, and it was a different perspective to see that it's true when you're younger age. You just don't think about it.
100%. And I believe, like, the people that we think are getting everything they want, their actions and they are in alignment with their beliefs.
Yes, exactly.
So therefore, like, you know what I mean? It's like, they might not consciously realize it, but that's why they're getting what they want, because their actions are in alignment with their beliefs.
Yeah.
And they're doing the things that need to be done to get what they want.
Yeah.
And it's so important. And like, I just wanted to touch back on that moment before with, like, if you don't have a capacity to care for someone, that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
That's not a problem. It's like, just say, I would love to help, but right now I've got to focus on myself and I don't have capacity for that. These are the support people I know that you should reach out to. I want you to get better. And I feel like that's so important to understand, to like understand that not saying no is good.
Yeah.
Saying no, that I don't have capacity to do that, that's warranted. And you don't have to make an excuse or elaborate on that. Just say, sorry, I don't have capacity to give right now. And that's so important.
I think that's really, really powerful. I mean, you can't fix a car with a broken spanner, right? It's the same thing as you were saying before. Like what you were saying before just resonated with me. Like, love is so much stronger than hate. But unless you're loving yourself, like, be the fountain, not the drain. Like, be so full of love for yourself that it overflows to other people and radiates to other people. If you don't have any self-love, or if you're feeling like shit, or someone comes up to you and you've got your own issues going on, it's okay to be like, I got to fill myself up first. I want to be 100% so I can truly help you. Like, I can't do it right now. I have to take a step back and look after me first. And when I'm 100% and I'm fully overflowing, or really 100%, but you know, when you're good and you're overflowing, you've got enough to share, then by all means, I'll come back to you. But right now, I just need to take a minute for myself. And I never used to do that, but I'm doing it more and more. And I think it's super powerful because you then have the ability to share more.
100%. And it's, well, like with me, like something it's like I've always wanted is more community.
Yeah.
But I've never wanted to be the leader to step up and to create that. And I feel like that's so important. It's like, if you want something and you don't see it, create it.
Yes.
Like, you mean like create the relationships in the life you want. If you don't like the way the world is, change something. Because if your actions are not about changing it, means you fucking love the way the world's going.
Yeah.
And you, like, you know what I mean? You might complain and you might be doing whatever you're doing, but if you're not changing something in your life or like doing something else, it means you're in agreement with how the world is going. And I feel like that's so important, understanding that you have to change your actions.
Exactly.
Because your actions are the actions that you vote every day. You vote with your money, the decisions and the way you spend. You vote with your actions and how you invest your time. And it's like, those are the two biggest votes we have.
Yeah.
Like the biggest gift you can ever give anyone is your attention. So don't ever feel like you don't have a gift to give. We all have gifts to give every moment of our day. And that I feel like is so important, so powerful, to receive someone's attention and be present for it, as well as to give your attention to someone else if you're able to.
Like an oath. I think so many people, they listen, but they don't listen because they don't feel like they give their time with pure attention. And I think at the very baseline, as you're saying, everyone's got something to give, and that is attention. Like, to give your unconditional focus and attention to someone is sometimes so much more powerful than anything else you can give. Because sometimes people just need to be fucking heard. And not heard like, yeah, hear what you're saying, I'm still texting my phone, but heard as and understood, like, I can feel what you're saying to me and I truly understand. And maybe together we can give you a direction or find something that will come to a solution for it. And I think everyone has the ability to do that, but it gets lost in the ether of chaos and social media and their own, desire of themselves, which is fair enough. But I think what people don't realize, as you're saying, is the ability to stop, sit down, truly focus and listen and feel what someone else is feeling is a better gift than so many things that people can give. And it's very simple. Everyone can do it.
100%. Like, before this run, like, I was like, for so many years, I'm like, everything in my life is pretty fucking perfect, pretty stoked, no complaints. I'm like, the one thing I'm missing though is like, I don't know how to help people. I don't know how to, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, if I had this one thing, my life would be perfect. And I was on like that mentality, I feel like, for so long. It's like, if I had this one tool where I can help people authentically and be like with them, everything will be sweet. And like, I was chatting to my therapist and we got into the discussion. It's like, I can't help anyone ever. You can't. All we can ever do is assist someone that wants to be assisted. And trying to help someone is just pushing them away, because that you're trying to change them. And if you're trying to change someone, if someone tries to change me, do you know what I tell them? I'll be like, stuff off, or like, fuck off, like, mate, like, just leave me alone. I'm happy doing my own thing. And it's like, we've all got our own processes.
So true.
And we all have our own methodology or reasoning behind things, and that's okay. But it's also okay to follow a process and follow someone else's process and follow someone else's thought, because they care. This process has worked for them, or for, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, embody the process, give it time, and things can change. And I feel like that's so important as well, to just like follow the process. Like, the process of the run was sleep, eat healthy, run.
Yeah.
That's
it.
It's pretty simple. You know what I mean? Like, saying no to socializing, saying no, I don't have capacity to do anything else because all my energy is being expended elsewhere. If I was expending more energy on top of that, I don't know the mental state I'd be in. I would be in a lot worse state, because I have no capacity. I didn't have capacity to care for myself, let alone myself, in that journey. So if I was trying to care for someone else in that experience, I would have been in a dark place. And I feel like that's something I've learned along my journey. It's like, sometimes you have to say no, because if you're not caring for yourself, you're not going to be able to care for anyone else. That's
so true. I mean, as we've said a couple of times, if you can't look after yourself, then how can you expect to be looking after other people? Like, as you said, follow the process. I'm not going to follow the process of someone who can't even look after themselves. Like, if I want to be a millionaire, I'm not going to follow the process of a homeless person. You know what I mean? So follow the process of someone who's doing it, and you can't help anyone unless you're giving them a process to follow and leading by example. And I think one of the most powerful things that resonated with me with what you just said was follow someone else's process and give it time. So often we like see someone at a level and we're like, how'd you do it? This? Okay, I tried that, didn't work. Bullshit. But it's like, I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years now, working day by day, getting to where I'm getting. Don't expect to come in here in a week and see what I do and expect to be able to do it in a heartbeat. Like, follow the process. Understand that I also went for a long journey. I'm happy to help you, guide you, assist you on that journey. and make it shorter for you because I can learn from my mistakes. But you're gonna still have to give it time. Things don't just happen, you know. And I think it's really powerful to follow the process, but give it time, because that's what I'm bad at.
100%. And like, be like, how can I enjoy this process more?
Yeah.
How can I love it? Like, understand
the process.
that it's not going to happen like that. Like, you mean there's going to be steps, and it's like, how can I enjoy it and create a life where I'm following a process, but I'm having fun and still enjoying it? It's like, I'm not trying to get to the destination. I'm starting to enjoy the process, because we don't get joy, or we don't get what we want at the destination. The destination is empty. The destination is empty.
Yeah.
We get the joy along the way, and that's why we set goals
for the journey.
100%. We don't set goals to get the goal.
Yeah.
We set goals to start, to get us out of bed, to get us walking that road to where we want to go. And I feel like,
totally.
fuck.
Like, that's what I was talking about before with the dopamine and the chocolate cake. Like, the thought of it and the idea of actually having the cake is so exciting. Like, oh, I can't wait to get home and eat this fucking cake. It's going to be great. And then you get there and you're like, cake was good. Now what? You know? Like, the journey is all... I've actually got live for the journey tattooed on my side when I started traveling, because it reminded me that, like, I wanted to go to these countries and do these things, and then I'd get to one country and be like, okay, I want to go to this next country. It's like, no, hold on. Just enjoy being there. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy living in the now and the journey that it takes you to get. I don't know how I'm going to get to the next country. I don't know how I'm going to achieve my next goal, but I'm going to figure it out along the way, and I'm going to have a fucking great time doing it, you know? Like,
for sure.
That's half the battle. It's all the battle.
Like, traveling, I feel like, gives us so much.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like the traveler's mindset and the mentality of, like, what would you, like, go back to be like, what would I be doing if I was on holiday? Who would I be reaching out to? How would I be more open? And I feel like that's why we all love traveling.
Yeah.
It's because we open ourselves up. We trust more. We love more.
Yeah.
We let connection in. It's like, oh, I just walked past the street, had like a 5-minute conversation with this bloke. Now we're at the pub and we're having a chat and like having a bloody good time.
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't you doing that when you're in your home city where you consider home? It's
crazy.
Like, we're so much more open to love. And like, I believe with love, there's a finite amount of love. The only thing that makes it feel like there's more is the frequency it's flowing at, or the rate it's flowing at.
Dude, that's
so
good.
It's like, if it's bouncing between people more, it feels, the stoke is so high. Like, when you're at a music festival, everyone's like letting it fucking go. It's like, stoke is so high, it's incredible. Like at a sports stadium, whatever.
Everyone's on the same vibration, you know. There's a whole mass of people on the same.
Everyone's like so stoked, and that's why I feel like we love like festivals or like those sorts of things, because everyone's open to just having a good time. Yeah. But like, when we're in our day-to-day walking around, why are we so like closed off?
Oh,
why?
So true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like in the supermarket or whatever, it's like, open yourself up to smile. It's like, if anyone doesn't smile, or like whatever, it's like, I doubt you have enough connection in your life to like give me a dirty look when I say hello. I'm like, if you do, I would love to know your secrets, because I firmly believe you don't have all the connection you want in your life, but you're turning it down.
Yeah.
Because you're saying no to people that are connecting with you.
Openly offering it. It's crazy. I mean, you know, when you travel on your own, you can walk into a hostel, and within 5 minutes, you've got 3 best friends for life. You know, like, you can go in there, and like, I've still got friends that I literally was messaging a guy today who came to Australia and stayed in my place as a traveller. And I remember coming home from work one time, and he was a traveller staying in an Airbnb, but he wanted a break from the hostels. But I had like 6 different travellers in my sort of house that I was renting out as an Airbnb, and I was best friends with. I just walked in, I was like, this is great, and I just had 6 new connections of great friends. And this is 5 years ago, and I'm messaging him today. We're both now in Europe, and I'm going to go catch up with him in the next couple of weeks. And it was such a short stay, but it was just so instant, because you're open to that love, and you're willing to accept, because when you're traveling on your own, you either open and be loving, or you're on your own and you struggle. There's just no difference. And I love the fact that you said that love, there's a finite amount of love, because just like energy cannot be created or destroyed, it just gets moved. It's so powerful to think that love is the same. and it can only get moved, not created or destroyed. So why not surround yourself and give as much of it as you can? Because as you say, at festivals, it's just a big mass of love and happiness. And if you can give, then you'll probably receive, and you're going to be happier. It's just,
Definitely. And it's like receiving is so important. Like I've struggled with accepting compliments for so long. I still struggle with it. You know what I mean? Because it's me not accepting the love. And like, you know what I mean? Try and turn it down. And every time you turn down a compliment, every time you say no or whatever you're doing, it's like you're making it harder for that person to say it, and you're also saying no to the universe for trying to give you appreciation. It's like be stoked on it. Like say yes, I'm stoked on it too. Like you know what I mean? It's like we struggle with tall poppy syndrome in Oz. Like you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Shutting people down, and it's like just fucking vibe, celebrate it. Like,
exactly, be happy and appreciate it. And the problem is if someone gives you a compliment and you shut them down, then they're going to be more afraid to give someone else a compliment. It's going to be a knock-on effect. It's not just you being affected because you're like, oh, I don't like a compliment, but then they're going to be more resistant to giving someone else a compliment. I had this discussion a couple of months back with someone, and I was like, why is it okay that we go up to, like our friends and be like, oh, I had a shit, which is great. You talk about your days and stuff, but I had a shit day, or I hate this person, or I'm just really not getting along with my partner today or something. And by all means, talk about that. But if you were to come up to your mate and go, oh man, I had the best day with my girlfriend. Like we went and did this, and it was the top thing. And they're like, okay, why are you telling me? Like I don't care. But it's so like odd to go and talk about the good things and the celebration things, but it's so okay to talk about the negative things and the bitching things. And it's like, why can't we shift that? Because if I've had a good day and I want to share it with you, then that's going to hopefully bring your day up. Like, why does it always have to be this negative? It's crazy what society has done in the norms of talking.
Like 100%. And you go back to like the subconscious and the unconscious mind. All that it's doing is giving us exactly what we want based on what we do, say, hear, think, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And if we're constantly going and saying, "I had a shit day," you're rewarding, and you're telling like your mind and your body, being like, "That's what I like talking about. That's what I enjoy." Instead of being like, "Yeah, I'm fucking stoked. I've got a great relationship. Everything is going pretty good at the moment. I had a great day of connecting. We just cuddled and we just lied around," or like I managed to have like a deep conversation. It's like that way you're building that feedback loop and being like, this is what I want in my life.
Yeah, totally.
This is what I deserve.
Give me more of this.
100%. So like the more you're in that state of like complaining or like being like life's shit, and it's like sometimes life can be fucking shit.
Yeah.
And you need to shift and be like, I'm intending to let my life be better, and say that. You know what I mean? Let that intention come into your life.
Yeah.
Because if you're not shifting your intention, you're not getting an opportunity for your mind and your brain to bring in different information or stimulus for your mind to feel better.
I love that. Yeah. Shifting the intention is very powerful.
It's like everything. I feel like, because it's like I might be feeling shitty, and it's like I'm giving myself space. I intend to give myself space to feel better.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
And then it's like trying to teach my brain and mind. It's like, okay, this is what you're wanting. Let's go on that process. Let's go on that journey. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Everything's about a journey.
Yeah, let's go on that journey together and figure out how we're going to make it happen,
100%. Yeah.
And I think what you were saying before is also like accepting that, I'm feeling shitty. But that's okay. I can feel shitty for a day. I can have a bad day. I can have an off day. I accept it. I understand it. We're going to feel shitty for the day or half the day. But now I'm going to tell my mind that I want it. Be okay with the fact that I was feeling shit, and now we're going to try and work against it and try and feel good. I've got this analogy of life that, just like our heart beats, which keeps us alive, like if you look at the scales, it sort of does this, If we didn't have those highs and lows, we'd be flat. If our life was always a high and always happy, we'd be flatlining, we'd be dead. If our life was always sad and depressed, we'd be flatlining, we'd pretty much be dead. If we had none of those highs and lows and excitements like that, we wouldn't be living. That literally is living.
For sure. And that's so important. That's so cool, that analogy. It's like looking at the heartbeat and looking at the highs and lows we go on. It's like it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up. And the more, I feel like the more depth or darkness we experience, the more capacity we have for love.
Totally.
And it's like, if we don't have that darkness, like the people that have been through dark times, like, you mean, you think of like, you're talking about like Robin Williams and that, and he's like, you mean he's got the opportunity, he can connect with so many people because he's been through those dark times.
Yeah.
And that's why he can relate on a level that not everyone can relate on. And
So
that's
true.
why we love him so much, because he's so honest and so truthful, and he's been there.
Yeah.
He is, like, he's experiencing what we're experiencing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm like, fuck yeah. It's like,
And
get at it.
that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you've found, but like when you're traveling and you end up having chats with people or talking to people, it's always, or usually, the people who have been through the most and been through the worst and been through the hard times that are going to be the ones that sit there and talk to you and understand, because they know the suffer, and so they are the ones who are going to be easily be able to help you on those experiences and those hard times. You know, it's like you realize that people. I had this theory that people are so afraid of people judging them at what they do, but people who are successful, they never judge you or give you shit for what you're doing, because they've been at the bottom and they've worked their ass off to get to the top. So they're going to be like, yeah, you know, good on you. Keep working. Like, I know how hard it is. Like, fuck yeah, give you a hand up if I can. But people who see other people succeeding, or people who see other people rising and at the bottom, they often cut them down because they're like, oh, you're getting away from me. You're doing something that I cannot. And that's why the tall poppy thing comes in so strong. But if you've been at the bottom and you've been down there, then it's so much easier to help someone up and lift someone up and be like, dude, I know the struggle. I know how hard it is. Like, yeah, anything I can do to help, you know?
For sure. And like with that, it's like, you're successful when you consider yourself successful. So find your definition of what you consider to be successful, whether they might appear up here or here or here or wherever there is. There's different ladders for everything in life.
Totally.
And we're all finding our own train tracks. And the first step for us, I feel like, in our lives is like, get on that fucking train track. Find your train track as quickly, like, you mean, whenever you can, but that's the first process.
Yeah.
To find your train track. Because if you're on someone else's train track, it doesn't matter if you're 10 miles ahead or like wherever you are, you're on the wrong train track. You're not going where you're meant to be going.
Gonna end up in the wrong place. Yeah.
You're going to end up in the wrong place, and you're going to have to catch another train all the way back.
All the way back to get on your track again. It's bloody spot on. But going back a little bit, I love what you just said then, because the whole point of this show, The Success Shift, is to talk to people who've done something successful. And my theory is that accepting and acknowledging that you're successful will act as a catalyst to future success. And the sooner you can be like, yeah, I appreciate what I've done, that is success. That is when you go further and further and faster, and the reaction just expands. So going back a little bit to where you were you talked about how you were at your dark days, and you were gonna take your life, but then you had a couple years battle. What point, or what changed in you that sort of started to leave that darkness and started to move to the light? And at what point did you go, holy shit, my life's actually getting good again. I can actually see the light and I can keep moving, and call yourself successful from beating your, whatever you want to call it, your dark days or your mental issues, all those times?
I feel like it's understanding that you drop layers, and to understand that I was always friendly. I was always stoked. I always had people around me. I had great people around me.
Yeah.
I just was blind to that fact.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if that sort of, like, you know what I mean? It's like the way the stimulus my brain and my mind was receiving at that time, felt I was utterly alone.
Didn't want to see the hands that were being held out, or didn't want to see the good friends, or saw the people but saw the wrong light of them, or didn't think that they were there to help or something.
I couldn't accept to love myself because I didn't love myself.
True, very powerful.
So therefore, if I don't love myself, I can't see or witness love coming from anywhere else.
Yeah. Why would anyone love me if I can't love me? That sort of mentality.
But I feel like the way my brain thinks at the time is like, I'm not lovable because no one loves me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's where my brain is at. That wasn't in that stage. It's like, because I'm not getting enough love, people aren't reaching out enough.
Yep.
Therefore, I'm not going to love myself. And it's like, no, everything starts with you. everything starts internal.
Everything's
like,
internal.
happens
Yes.
so it's like, fuck, I'm like, I can do this. I can build this. And like you said, like with the momentum, you know what I mean? Everything's like, once you consider yourself successful, you start you've changed the belief. Your belief is now, I'm successful.
Yeah.
So therefore you're opening yourself up to the capacity of like actually being curious about certain things going on around you. So then you're more likely to investigate that to go down the path of what you want. And spending time loving yourself, like, and doing whatever you have to do, like, but being in the body, doing your yoga, doing your meditation, going for a run with friends, chatting with people that are going through your own struggles.
Yeah.
Or like just opening up a real conversation with your mates and chatting about what's going on, because the chance is they're probably going through something similar. They probably were going something similar to you. At that same time, you felt you are utterly alone. And because you weren't talking about it, you weren't being vulnerable and sharing what's going on with you.
They weren't doing it either.
No,
you know?
They weren't doing it either. Because we're all trying to stay into, like, I feel like our egos is very important. It's here to protect us.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not safe for me to share because it's not seeing it happen. The feedback loops aren't sensing that it's safe to do it. So therefore it's very foreign to do it, especially
out of that comfort zone.
The majority of us haven't grown up in like families that have openly expressed their feelings and their struggles in a communicative way. We've been had reactive families.
True.
And when we have reactive, when all we see is on TV or in real life as reactive relationships, we don't know what a healthy relationship is. A healthy relationship feels so utterly foreign to us.
Yeah. It's not on Hollywood, that's for sure. It's not, Hollywood relationships aren't that healthy. It's not the reactive relationships that we want, and that's where so much of it comes. You know, we see it with our eyes and our ears, and we're like, is that a healthy relationship? Okay, I'll react like that. No, it's not. You know,
it's like, wait, I'm not feeling great. What? I should be feeling great all the time in a relationship, and it's like, no. It's like you're gonna go through ups and downs, just like you do in your own life, and it's like, how can I sit through this pain and this like uncomfortable conversation with my partner or my friend or my work colleague? Yeah. So we can have healthy conflict and talk about what's actually going on, so then we can get the joy on the other side. The more we withhold and hold back, the less chance we have of actually connection.
That's so true.
If someone tells me they don't want connection, I'm like, I would love to know why.
Yeah. Because
I feel like the majority of us love to feel connected.
Of course. And I think the best relationships you can have, those long-term relationships, aren't just like, oh yeah, I'm always in a good time with you, but with your partner or even your mates, for example. Like, I love spending time with you. It's amazing, but you pull me up on my flaws. I can be mad at you, and we can get over it the next day, or I can have a dispute with you. I can have an argument. We can say what we believe, discuss it. And then the day after, I'm going to be just as much in love with you again. Or your mate goes, yeah, but you're a dick, fuck you, but tomorrow I'll still buy you a beer and we can have a laugh about it, Or in your case, get smacked in the face, or my case, but still be mates with them and laugh about it. That's a true friend or a true relationship, that you can have those blues, but it doesn't sit in your core. It's like, here's the problem, here's the issue, now move on, And that, I think, is where the strong relationships are.
Yeah, just like loving people for who they are. Yeah. And like the more we're able to love and appreciate and forgive ourselves, the more appreciation and understanding we're going to have for other people. Because I know I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And if I can love myself for not being perfect, I can fucking love and appreciate other people for when they fuck up. Yeah. Or when they do something that feels like a little bit painful. Or I'm like, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
What, like, you mean like, and from that purpose and that understanding, it's like I can have forgiveness. And from forgiveness, then it's like we can learn tools to have healthy conflict where we're communicating in a way that's healthy. We co-regulate our body together.
Yeah.
So we're not going to, like, if I just go, yo, Jacob, you're a dick. I don't really like it when you do that. Straight away, your ego is going to go straight into fight or flight.
Like, ow, fuck you.
Yeah, 100%. You go like straight into a reactive state.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, Jacob, do you reckon we can sit down and take a moment? I want to chat to you about something. And how can we like breathe together or do whatever like somatic or body experience to like relax and like be just in the room happy together?
Yeah.
And then you talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I feel really disconnected. I really want to receive more love from this. And you can chat, and it's not going to always be easy having conversations like that, but then you can find the middle ground.
I think that's a real skill that not many people have, but I think it's a really good leadership skill and a really good life skill to be able to have the ability to go and confront someone about something uncomfortable, but do it in the right way. And it comes right back to what you said earlier, that communication isn't about what you say, it's about what they hear. And so sitting someone down, making them feel comfortable and letting them hear your side in a non-aggressive and a very monotone and way that's, friendly and mutual is so powerful. And I think so many people are afraid of conflict. That's one of the major fears, isn't it? Fear of conflict. And it's because we don't learn how to communicate, how to let someone hear us without it coming across aggressive or, attacking. And we so often communicate our negatives with a sort of a tonality and a body language that is like attacking. And so, as you say, the ego just goes aggressive. I don't want to listen. But having that ability, as you say, to bring him into a comfortable space and go, are we comfortable? This is a discomfort that I have with you or something that I would like to change or discuss, makes it tenfold easier just by the approach to the actual issue. And I think it's a very powerful lesson that lots of people would benefit from if they had.
100%. Or we just don't hear. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know I've been guilty of the past of like slide comments to my mates or my parents or my relationships, and it's like me saying something like that.
Yeah.
It's not helping the situation.
Yeah.
It's not changing. It's like I might say something I'm unhappy about. I just said it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have heard it. Like, they don't really understand. You're not actually saying what you actually want.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're wanting. Don't
Exactly.
tell them what they're doing.
Yeah.
Don't judge them. Be like, feel, and the more you voice that, the more you understand that's probably going back to a core belief you have around something.
Totally.
And it's not them doing anything or changing anything that's going to change. It's you. Like, relationships give us a chance to change our core beliefs.
Yeah, to look within.
And
totally.
To look within. And so every time you react, and it's like important to engage and have these difficult conversations because it gives you a chance to reflect.
Yeah.
And the more you're able to do that, the better your relationships are going to be. And the better your relationships with other people are going to be, the better your life is going to be.
Yeah, it's that loop that you're talking about again, and
Yeah.
it does go back to what you were saying, like those sly comments. Sometimes they don't get heard, and if you want something, just say it. Say exactly what you want. Don't beat around the bush. Don't say like sly comments or things that aren't exactly what you want. Like, sometimes it's healthy just to go, actually, this is kind of what I want from this. And sometimes they're, oh, that's not what I thought you wanted at all. My head was somewhere else, and that's when these sort of sly negative comments. And I'm bad for it. I actually even. This is a new thing of mine. I've got a lackey band on my wrist, and whenever I find myself, like, they might not hear it, or whenever I find myself having a really negative thought or saying a sly comment like that, I grab it and I'm like, that was unnecessary, that was dumb. And it's a small thing, but it's a extra sense to the negativity. And I just go like this every now and again. I'm like, what are you doing? And I find myself almost doing it before I say it, or like if I'm saying something, I've already got it in my hand because I know I'm going to do it. So I'm hoping that through this process, it will diminish and get less.
100%. And that goes back to like that process. Like, I've read a book recently which I absolutely love, by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, called The Gap and the Gain.
The Gap and the Gain.
Gain, yeah.
Yep.
Gain. And it talks about very much the difference in mindset. And we'll find ourselves naturally as humans always falling into the gap.
Yeah.
That's where our judgment goes. That's where we criticize, or we feel, or we judge ourselves. And like, that's the tool with like the goals. It's like, how can I be in the gain more? In any situation I'm in the gap, how can I be in the gain and appreciate the journey that they've come on, or like the way they've changed, or the way they're growing, or like, how can I meet someone for the first time? How can I be stoked on how they've got to where they are today.
That's
Not
cool.
what it seems like where they are today, but the journey they've been on. Because we've all been on a journey.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all experiencing a journey.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I love this person for where they are today and where they've come from? Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you, wherever someone is, they've changed.
Oh,
They've changed a lot. And it doesn't matter what it looks like physically or materially. It's like their mindset's changed.
Yeah.
And that's more important than what wealth or what everything they have. Because once your mindset has changed, wealth will come.
Everything.
Well,
Yeah.
it will come. Like, you know what I mean? If you've been there and then you lose it all, it will come back.
Yeah.
If you can remember the beliefs and mindsets you had before, and it will take you on the journey you're meant to be
Yeah.
at.
Totally. I think they say that, you know, like some people who have a business and like $1 million business and it goes bankrupt, you'll see them in 2 years with another $1 million business just because their mindset's in the right place. They've learnt the skill and they know how to do it, and they've run the track before and they're like, oh, that's the track I need to go on. That's exactly how I need to run it, and I'll be there in 2 minutes. You know, like it's just that. Yeah, it's very interesting. Well,
and that's where like reaching out for support or getting coaching or like having a mentor, like reaching out, like if you're like, you know what I mean, finding your mentors and your support network you need, because they can get you where you want to go in a lot shorter time, and they have a process that works, and if you follow their process, you're gonna get there. If you don't, you're gonna keep looking around curiously, being like, what am I going to do? What is going on? And you just jump from experience to experience.
And eventually you end up on someone else's process anyway, and you're like, shit, I should have just done this from the start.
For sure. And it's like, reach out for help. They've been on the journey. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
If you connect with someone.
Couldn't agree more. The journey that I'm on at the moment with my business and everything I'm doing online, like it's all about mentorship and community, and like doing something online, working at home on your own is hard. Like it's a hard thing to do, but being involved in a community of everyone who's doing the same thing and having mentors who've run the path and are helping you do the exact same thing makes it 1,000, 10,000 times easier, because you get stuck, you ask, you speak to someone else, you go up to people who've done it before and like, hey, when you were struggling like this, what was going through your head? Hey, when your mind was in this place, what did you do? You know, and it makes a huge difference.
And that's what you're doing at the moment. Like, you're creating an offer for people to live a lifestyle you know will benefit them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so important for people to understand. It's like you're creating this lifestyle and this opportunity for people to go on to learn the tools they need to live a lifestyle of abundance.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's incredible. And you've been on that path. You've been traveling on this path. And you're getting there. Yeah. And it's like you are where you're meant to be. And it's like the journey's still going to keep going.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like, just find someone that's one step ahead of you, because they help you get that one step. And it's like, all we have to do to help others is help them take one step.
Yeah.
If we're a couple steps ahead of someone, incredible. Don't worry about reaching perfection and then trying to help people, because you're not going to be able to relate to those people that are in a completely different world now. Like I feel like that's where it comes. It's so important to understand. All we need to do to help people, assist people, is be a couple steps ahead in one thing.
Yeah, get help from people two hands up, and help people 2 hands down, and the world's going to move in a very quick direction in the right way. You know, and I think it's so true. We always go to the top, or want to get to the top before we can help people at the bottom, but fuck that. Go to someone who you don't have to go to the top. You just go to someone who's a few steps ahead and has done that one step that you're trying to do. And then when you've done that, you can help the next person do that one step. And then you look back up and someone else is going to be there to help you on the next step, or the same person will help you again. And it's how, like, as a group you go. You know, I think it's super powerful.
For sure.
Definitely. Very progressive.
And so relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, they say, what is it? There's the 2 most powerful days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And I think, you know, finding your why to help people, I think, is one of the biggest aha. It's like, this is why I'm here. This is what I can do. This is how I can actually leave a legacy or help people or make a change in the world, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. Well, mate, it has been an awesome time chatting to you. I've pretty much had two episodes in one here, because we cut out halfway through and I've done a part 2. I'm not sure if the second one's streaming, but I am recording it, so I'll set it up and get it out there online. It's been absolutely great. Couple things before you go, though. I usually have 2 final questions. And the first one would be, what would be the one thing you'd go back and tell your 17-year-old self?
You can be proud of yourself today. Like, be fucking proud of yourself where you are today.
In that exact day.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be so grateful of, like, the journey you're on. Or, like, you know what I mean? It's like, we can rewrite your story today. Like, you know what I mean? Because the more you rewrite your story, you look back on those moments and you're, like, stoked on it.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, be proud of who you are right now, in this moment. And I love what you said then. Like, I just had this thought. I was like, you know, you can rewrite your story. You think about any book. How many draft copies are of a book before it finally gets released? You know, like most books that get read out, it's like draft 74 and then the final copy. And we're expecting to write our book the first time. No, write the draft, fucking throw it in the bin and start again and write another draft. Like, it's not the end of the world, you know?
Definitely. And the more we change our experiences and like be like, what did this experience give me instead of what did this experience take from me?
Yeah.
The more we can be in like love with our life and like the journey we've been on and appreciation.
Totally.
Because if we're disappointed, because it's a reason, like this experience, that experience that was fucking hard, like I don't wish it never happened. I'm so grateful for it because it's given me the opportunity where I am today to connect with people in the way I'm able to connect.
Yeah.
If I never had that experience, I would not be who I am today because that turmoil enabled me to connect with people the way I do. And
got you to your 500 miles.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Without those experiences, there's no chance in the world I would have been here today.
Yeah, it's insane. And we might not even be on this chat, you know? It's crazy. Yeah. Like, everything happens for a reason and it directs you into the path. And if you can be proud and happy and learn from everything, then you're going to go the right direction and quickly. What is the saying? Like, there's never a failure, only a lesson. You know, like, take the lessons. Don't see them as failures. Be like, yep, I learned how to do that quickly because I failed so many times. No, I just learned really quickly what not to do, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah. Right, question number 2, which often stumps people, is if you could have the answer to any question in the world, the total truth to anything, what would that question be?
Thinking now. You stumped me.
It gets me, it gets you thinking. I love it. That's why I love it.
100%. Like, the question I feel like would be, what stops people from connecting or reaching out? And the truth, in my experience, is yourself.
True. Yeah. Then it's funny. Like, is that the truth? I mean, I think it is too. Like, what stops people from reaching out?
But I would be curious. I would be curious on the exact truth, but my subjective truth is myself. If I want more connection, the only person stopping me from getting more connection is myself.
Is you. Yeah. I saw a picture the other day, and it was like, another motto is, you know, there's 3 sides to every story that I live by, and there's this picture, and it had like a cylinder, and there was a light coming here, and it was a square, and a light coming here, and it was a circle, and it was like true, and the truth was that it was a cylinder with 2 lights on it. So it was really like, it's a crazy perspective shift. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you to show, but it was really cool.
Just insane.
Yeah, it was great. All right, mate, this has been absolutely amazing. I like I said, I loved having a yarn with you. I've done 2 episodes in one, basically, unfortunately cutting out in the middle. One thing before you go, like, is there any message you want to give, or a place that people can still go donate, or anything you want to say to anyone who is struggling with mental health that's listening to this on the replay or live, and any advice you can give?
Very much, like, I would say, if anyone wants to reach out, go to Fernwood Social Running Club on Instagram, or feel free to connect with me on Facebook of Dylan Joss or Instagram. And I feel like if anyone's struggling, everyone's going through whatever it is you're going through, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Fucking feel it. Feel that emotion. Let it come up, or find a safe space to feel that emotion. Because if you're not feeling that emotion, you're putting more and more trauma into your body. And the more you don't feel the emotion, the more trauma is coming into your body. And we have to then rework to let that trauma out. And we have to do that anyway, because we've got built up trauma if we haven't had a capacity to process it. So the more we can feel the emotion that we're feeling, the better our lives are going to be. And just know it gets better. Things change, things shift.
Yeah.
And that's the joy of it all. It's like,
it's the journey.
We've got time. We've got a journey.
Yeah.
And there's always love out there for you, but you got to start loving yourself or reaching out for support. And like, the best thing you can do to love yourself is to go get the support or go get the professional help or the people that know what they're doing to help you, and ask for that assistance. Because just sitting in your life being unhappy or not having the things you want and trying to do it all alone, that's not loving yourself. Loving yourself is getting the support you deserve.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. You know, feel your emotions, whether they're happy, sad, angry. Feel them. Allow yourself to feel them. And as you said earlier, ask multiple times, not just once. Ask and allow, and things change. That's powerful. Having a trans there, I was really stuck in your words. That was great. All right, mate. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. I've really enjoyed having a yarn and catching up. I will try and sort out the little blip in the middle of this, and I'll do a 2-part little podcast, and we'll have that live on my Facebook, on the YouTube channel, and I'm actually working on getting this onto Spotify so we can have a stream, so we can send it out and you can share it with anyone you want. I think there's been a lot of powerful nuggets. I got 2.5 pages of notes from you, mate. It's been great. It's been absolutely awesome. And you kind of 100% agreed with my hypothesis that being grateful of where you are now, being proud of your successes, and agreeing and knowing that you're successful will act as a catalyst to get you to your further successes. And it all starts within the mind, which has been great to have some confirmation. So I really appreciate that. We'll be back next week for episode 8 of The Success Shift. I'm very much looking forward to it. It might be a bit shorter than this week because this was a couple of hours, but I intentionally don't have a time limit on these, because when you're getting a good yarn and you got some good vibes flowing and some great conversational topics, then I think it's important to let them keep going. So thank you very much again, Dylan. And I guess I'll speak to you sometime soon, hey?
100%. Absolutely love being here and having to have a conversation, and a relatable conversation, as we both had these experiences together and we're both on that same process. So super appreciative and loving, and thank you to anyone that's tuned in, and feel free to reach out for Jacob if you're wanting support and to moving on that journey, because he certainly can help and support you.
Yeah, definitely. My inbox, as I say, is always open, and if I can't help you, I'll definitely put you in the hands of someone who can. As Dylan was saying before, we both live crazy lives, and I love helping as many people as I can. And sometimes the best help you can give is giving to someone who can help in a better situation. So no matter what my situation is, and if you reach out, I'll do my best to either help you myself or get you in touch with someone who can. And I'm assuming, Dylan, you're probably in the same sort of boat there. So if you know either of us on social medias, feel free to reach out. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you very much, and bye for now.
Recording stopped.